We set off toward Utah to explore the Fisher Towers. The weekend in Colorado was expected to be rainy, so naturally we headed toward the desert, where it would surely be clear and dry. To our surprise, Utah had other plans. It was almost as if a higher power didn't want us to see the towers. I have proof of that, something we discover a little later. We arrived, and it was obvious exploring the towers wasn't an option that day. So we found a nearby spot and set up camp and made the best of the mystical, rain-soaked views. Hopefully tomorrow would bring better weather. A few weeks ago, a windstorm had forced us to move the tent in the middle of the night. That move ripped the floor open. I attempted to patch the holes. With rain falling throughout the night, we would get a good test to see if the patches worked. Waking up the next morning, we instantly knew everything underneath us was soaked. Apparently, I should have bought the waterproof patches, but maybe the struggles will all be worth it if it means seeing these strange towers up close. These towers are ancient and mysterious, 290 million years old. I bet they have stories darker than we can imagine, far beyond their current time as backdrops for westerns and commercials. They have been here long before us, and they will be here long after we're gone. Carved by wind, sculpted by floods, each spire is a monument to the slow passing of time. As the morning sun burned through the fog, the skies began to open, almost as if the gates were being lifted. We were being granted permission to explore. But the map revealed a new challenge, a ladder along the route. Not a big deal for us, but for Ginger, that was a question. Still, we set out. And then, there they were. Kingfisher, Echo, Cottontail, Titan, in ancient art, the sandstone giants. Kingfisher stood high above us, like a guardian over his little brothers. Echo paused behind us, perfectly still, as if letting the canyon breathe. Cottontail rose sharply and defiant of gravity. Surrounded by 360 degrees of views, we enjoyed everything about this hike. Then suddenly, around the corner we saw it, one of the tallest freestanding natural towers in the country. Nearly 6,000 feet, Titan. Then came our toughest impasse, the ladder. It wasn't especially tall, but it was slick and exposed.
This might be the end of the road for us.
One wrong move here, and the whole trip could take a different turn.
I don't know, girl.
Ginger didn't hesitate. She stood there, eyes fixed on me, completely calm. Her trust was absolute. She believed that if I wanted to get her down the ladder, I'd make it work. That I could carry her safely, just like I had every other time we had been in a tough spot. But this time was different. She is not a small dog. Her weight could shift at any step, and the metal rungs were narrow, still damp from the morning. I pictured one slip, her falling, me reaching, both of us tumbling before we even knew what happened. I sat there for a long moment, thinking about the ladder. The desert was silent. The towers around us felt impossibly tall, like they were waiting for a decision. It wasn't fear that held me back, it was understanding, the kind that comes when you realize adventure isn't worth everything, that sometimes the right move is to protect what you already have, not to chase what is just beyond your reach. I knelt beside her and talked to her as if she could understand. I told her we'd seen enough today. She didn't argue. She looked back at me as if she was just happy to be in this moment. We turned around, the towers watching silently as we walked away. That's when we saw it, in the distance, a strange silhouette, almost like a mythical being watching over the desert, testing anyone who dared enter. Now I'm kidding, but it was a strange sight. One last reminder the landscape has its own sense of humor. Maybe the towers were never trying to keep us away. Maybe they were testing how far we'd go, how much we'd trust one another when the trail pushed back. Out here, the challenge isn't just the weather or the terrain. It's learning when to press forward and when to stop. It's realizing that adventure isn't measured by how far you go, but by who you share it with. When we stood by the ladder, we understood something simple but real. It's not worth risking the safety of one member of our crew just to say we made it a little further. The real reward isn't the summit or the end of the trail. It's moments like these, when the three of us move through places we love, not as individuals chasing a view, but as one small team sharing the same adventure. We came searching for clear skies, but what we found instead was gratitude for the storm that slowed us down, for the trust that carried us this far, for the company that made it all worth it. And maybe the strange figure on the horizon wasn't warning us off after all. Maybe it was just keeping an eye on the crew.